something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
Kamala Harris was on The View and on Stephen Colbert's show. And I you know what? Look, I don't think I've ever lost more respect for somebody in such a short amount of time. It's because Stephen Colbert was funny, and he sort of was under the umbrella of Jon Stewart, got the draft in behind him. This program, his program, Stephen Colbert, is an example of claptrap to a degree that I've never seen. Like, they don't even attempt to be funny anymore. And it really just borders on political propaganda. But for those of you who missed it, this is part of the Kamala Harris strategy, right? The blitz, which, by the way, is not going well.
Please welcome back the next president of the United States.
Ladies and gentlemen,
there's men there.
Fellow Americans, my guest tonight is the Democratic nominee for President of the United States. Please welcome back to The Late Show, Vice President Kamala Harris.
Yay! So according to MSNBC, Kamala Harris silences critics with media blitz targeting key younger voters.
Silence no one.
Not according to Polymarket. So that's getting worse. That's close to a 7-point spread at this point. In other words, Kamala Harris, and I talked about this, like, what does she do? Like I said, like, she's going to have a bump, but she is going to find herself in her own personal hell. Yeah. Right now, I guarantee you advisors are saying, hey, look, either we pull the Biden playbook, we go silent, try and whip up an October surprise and hope for the best, or she has to continue going through this blitz. And every time she appears, her numbers get worse. Here, and the reason that's so important is because it's not about messaging. It's not about perhaps not having the strongest ground game. It means that Kamala Harris, her Achilles heel is who she is. It's her soul that people are rejecting. You could not have a more personal rejection as a human being than what you are seeing with Kamala Harris. That's tough. It almost makes me feel bad for her.
Almost.
So let me give you some of the highlights here, because yesterday we were doing the Howard Stern simul stream, and The View was going on at that moment in time. It's worse than we knew yesterday.
Yeah, because we talked about it just a little bit.
We talked about it. I didn't realize the question was asked twice. So if you go back, remember everyone was saying, including on the right, and then those on the left. If you look at the debates,
they're saying it right now on ESPN or CNN. Not a thing I'd do differently than Biden. That's the quote.
That's what they're saying here on CNN right now. But before we arrived at this juncture, you saw Donald Trump. I believe we had his Donald Trump Jr. on the show, and people were saying, yeah, you know what? You just got to make sure that you flip that ticket. Biden-Harris is basically Harris-Biden. Everything that Biden has done, you make sure that you burden Kamala Harris with that, right? You connect her to Joe Biden, so these last 3.5 years are absolutely laid at her feet.
Yeah.
And then the left was saying, and they have to make sure that they find a way, right, Kamala Harris's campaign, to distance herself from Biden and present her as refreshing and an example of change. So in other words, this is not something that is in dispute. Everyone knew that the right strategy was to tie her to Biden, and a key facet of the left strategy would have to involve untangling her from the Biden disastrous presidency. Because if they don't do that, then Donald Trump can just contrast, right? Like we've always said, you have 8 years of Obama, 4 years of Donald Trump, and another 3.5 years of Biden. One of these things is not like the other. If you can simply swap out Biden for Harris, she loses. But here's the thing. What nobody expected from the left while they were trying to remove her from being associated with Biden was her bringing him right back in. Here you go.
What do you think would be the biggest specific difference between your presidency and a Biden presidency?
Well, we're obviously two different people, we have a lot of shared life experiences. For example, the way we feel about our family and our parents and so on. But we're also different people, and I will bring those sensibilities to how I lead. For example, I know we're going to talk today, but one of the issues that I'm very focused on is what we do around home health care. Yes. I have done a lot of work as it relates to, sadly, but violence against women and children. I care a lot about that. I love our small businesses. My mother raised my sister and me predominantly, but we
it is unreal.
We moved 2 houses down who helped my mother raise us. She was a small business owner. I love our small businesses. And so the influence of a personal experience will have its impact on the presidency.
Well, if anything,
and pause. So, that's bad. We are different people. Well, no one's saying you're conjoined twins.
Where's Ben Carson when you need him?
Sonny Hostin decides, I'm going to give her a lifeline and she's trying to help her. Give her a layup. Okay, but now I'm going to give it to you again, right? You're not Joe Biden. Watch your answer.
something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years.
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
That's what every member of The View wanted to do at that moment.
Exactly. They look for a window to jump out of.
Whoopi was like, take me back to Hollywood Squares.
Yes.
That's a great impression, by the way.
Yes. I don't think there's ever been a worse candidate as far as now. I mean, there have been people who've been in worse situations. Like John McCain wasn't a good candidate.
Right.
Mitt Romney wasn't a good candidate. Bob Dole wasn't a very good candidate. John Kerry was not a good candidate. No. This is the worst presidential candidate, I think. And by the way, that includes Biden. You can comment below if you disagree, and I'll get to the swing states in a bit. That's not only... It's not a presidential answer. It's not even an answer at all. It's just a generic yearbook comment. Yes.
Don't ever change.
There's not much else to note. You can go and watch the whole thing at The View. Let's go to Colbert. All right. Same exact question. And the crazy thing to me is the prefab... The answer that's so bad is a premeditated answer.
Yeah.
She actually, one of her talking points is, well, we are two different human beings. Like, that's her answer. Here, watch her say the same thing with Colbert.
You are a member of the President administration. Mm-hmm. Under a Harris administration, what would the major changes be, and what would stay the same?
Sure. Well, I mean, I'm obviously not Joe Biden.
I know.
And so that would be one change in terms of... But also, I think it's important to say with, 28 days to go, I'm not Donald Trump. And so when we think about the significance of what this next generation of leadership looks like, were I to be elected president, it is about, frankly, I love the American people, and I believe in our country. I love that it is our character and nature to be an ambitious people. We have aspirations, we have dreams, we have incredible work ethic, and I just believe that we can create and build upon the success we've achieved in a way that we continue to grow opportunity.
Wake up!
What happened?
Do you want to take this, Chill? Anything to offer?
Here's all I'll say. Nobody cleaned her up between interviews. Nobody said, hey, can you do me a favor and maybe say, you know what, I love a lot of the stuff that we accomplished, but I'm a different person and I'll do some things maybe a little bit differently than Joe Biden because of blah, 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 blah. Nobody got to her to tell her that this is a really bad answer to go, aspirations. Yeah. Black men can't stand her. No. We'll get to those numbers in a little bit. It's that nonstop nagging. I mean, it's very it's frowned upon in African American people of color culture. A woman who is nagging and shrill and never answers anything.
Bill Whitaker showed us that.
Yeah, he was severely annoyed. Yeah. Who hired her staffers? Joe Biden? Like, who's her advisors? Like, this will get her.
If she was somebody that worked for me and I had asked her questions and she answered me consistently like that, I would end up throwing things at the wall. I would be so frustrated.
She's the person, like you were saying, you would avoid at a party.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. Because you think she's cool, right? She's laughing. She's telling a story like, oh, that's good. And then you get over there and you're like, what? What are you talking about?
Right.
Like,
yeah. And she won't let you leave.
No, she does. No, I got to tell you about my father and my uncle and my nephew and me and my husband. We went to a baseball game and we saw the Spurs play the Packers. Like, what are you talking about?
Right. No, but I need all of your attention and energy this entire evening because I don't want to be alone. So don't go socialize. Just spend time with me. Did I tell you about the time I drank the champagne of beers?
Oh my god!
Oh, let's hear the story about it. It was a Sunday
Please
and you were
tell
making
me.
pancakes and your niece was over.
Yeah, exactly. Then
You're
she'll
trying to
start
get hammered to forget you were vice president.
trying to sell you antimicrobial socks as part of a pyramid scheme.
It's like, hurry up and get it over with. Jimmy Carter's waiting to die for this.
Also, let's remind the American people you're a drunk. Go for
Yes,
it.
exactly. Because right now, Colbert's like, hey, the president's the person you'd want to have a beer with. Fine. I mean, that's another thing to just gloss over, that Donald Trump doesn't touch drugs, never has. He's been a teetotaler because his brother ruined his life with it, which, he deserves some credit.
Yeah, what a dork. Drink and do drugs, kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Dare? Yeah, I double dog dare you to drink this beer.
And crappy beer, no offense.
Well, here is Kamala Harris showing you that she is just like you.
Elections, I think, are won on vibes because
No,
one of
they're
the
not.
old saws is they just want somebody they can have a beer with. So would you like to have a beer with me so I can tell people what that's
Vibes,
like?
not policy.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm just curious.
Okay, the last time I had beer was at a
This
baseball
morning.
game with Doug.
Okay, so cheers. There you
cheers.
go. There you go.
Watch this.
Ooh. That tastes like the beautiful city of Milwaukee,
The
Wisconsin.
champagne of beers.
There you go.
Now I'm just saying slogans.
She read the can,
More taste, less filling.
She didn't even say this. She read the slogan on the can. She looked.
Great taste.
Champagne of beer.
Bud Light, the sure sign of a good time. Is that what it is, or is it Here We Go? I don't
This
know.
bud's for you. They've had a ton of them. This bud's
They
for you. Trans people love it.
Yes.
All that stuff.
And if she read it, she'd be confused. Like, this bud's for you. Oh, sorry. And give it to Colbert.
Oh.
Nothing about her seems even remotely genuine.
Dude, if she had grabbed that beer and then stood up on the chair, pulled out a knife, and went, I would have been like, this chick just got my vote. I don't care, dude. I would be ashamed, and I wouldn't even care. I'd be like, dude, you gotta vote for the beer chug and shotgun lady.
Absolutely. A butt chug would win her Wisconsin.
Oh, I'd vote for her twice.
Lock it up. So.
That's an odd sound.
Oh, great job, Billy.
Good timing there.
The good news is that, like, she finds herself in great company because the left really, for some reason, thinks that they relate to you through beer.
How often do you get to sneak out for a beer? Very rarely. First of all,
Everyone
I
else
don't get
around
to
him just
sneak out,
scared to do
period.
their normal day.
But once in a while, I'll take Michelle out on a date night.
Stop staring at the black guy.
I think I killed himself just after that.
Thank you for being here.
Pleasure.
He did too, by the way.
Enjoy your beer.
Sounds like a trend.
Gretchen Whitmer.
Toast to you and to us, your new moon squad.
All right.
Mayor Pete.
To the road ahead.
Oh, now you all have monkey
Drunk in public?
Is he breaking the law?
That wasn't a beer, by the way.
Was this before or after the train derailment in Ohio?
I don't know, but it looks.
They were celebrating it.
I see.
Let's be honest. It looks like he's being raped in a prison yard.
Probably so, yeah.
It's not a good look.
Very
It looks like they're making him drink it.
Yes.
Like, all right, guys, yeah, keep it in the bag. I keep it in the bag. Okay, because of the police.
If you want to keep your ass, you take a drink.
Yeah.
Can I have my poppers first?
No poppers for you.
Brain damage.
I'm the mayor.
Nothing like a Mickey's in the afternoon. Get your poppers going soon.
Oh,
jeez.
I'm sorry.
How does that relate?
I think we're all just tired.
That was just pure annoyment from living in New York.
I know. You could hear the genuine revulsion from
Tim's heard that conversation outside a park.
So here's the thing. The media blitz, like we've said, it's only making things worse for Kamala. I do a pretty good job, I think, in terms when I go, okay, if I were advising Kamala, what would I tell her to do? At this point, I don't know. I think there's no good answer. I think if there's anything that could switch, and anything can happen, the momentum can switch, it will have to come from some kind of outside force, meaning it won't actually be from Kamala or Walz. There'll have to be some kind of crazy October surprise. Could happen, but I would expect this gap that's now at 7 points, which is pretty substantial, by the way, to either widen a little bit or stay pretty close to that. That's what I think we'll be seeing. And again, this is not a rejection of politics as a game. This is not she didn't focus on one key state. This is not even about the Electoral College. When people say drink a beer with, look, the only thing people know about Kamala Harris is kind of her personality. They don't really know her policies.
Kind of.
So the reason people don't like her and the numbers are shifting against her is because of who she is. It's her soul that people can't stand. And by the way, black men don't like Kamala. This is a big reason why. Like you would think the first black female potential president, half black, whatever it is that you want to go with today, you'd think he would. No, over 25% of black men under the age of 50 actively support Trump. Guarantee you there's a higher number of secret Trump voters or secret Trump supporters there. And you know what? I will tell you this, spending time, especially in comedy, but around black men in particular. I mean, it's rare that I spend time with black women just because, why? But I've never met one who actually thought that Trump was racist. I've certainly never met one black man, meaning someone who's not in media. Of course, when I was on Fox News and appear on CNN, very, very different. The Van Joneses of the world are very different from the people who you will meet in the area of town that's largely black. I've never met one who thinks that the Trump voter is a racist or is afraid of them. I really haven't. Even the ones who don't like Trump, I don't think that they hate you the way the left hates you. That's been my experience. You guys can comment if your experience. That's what we do, black and white and the gray issues. I actually feel more comfortable discussing politics with black men who we've been told are 100% Democrat, right, a monolith, than frankly, often suburban white women. That's just me. And the numbers are reflecting it. They are shifting. I think Kamala is going to accelerate that. She's like a nitro boost on the exile of black men from their party.
Yeah, it doesn't seem. And Donald Trump, by the way, he's gained 5 points on that number. It was 20% he was up plus, I guess, 20% in 2020.
Yeah, 20% right?
So
support.
now it's 25%. So he's gaining. Like you said, you would think with a candidate that's black that you would at least have some people just go, well, I'm not paying a whole lot of attention to the race, but I'm going to vote for this person because, hey, that'd be great to have the first black female president of the United States, right? But that's not happening in this group. And I think you're largely correct. They also, I think they're starting to see through the Democrat facade. It's not just Kamala Harris's personality. She is doing the same things that Democrats have done for decades, which is say, I'm going to give you free stuff. Right. Every single one of her policies, if you look at it, is free stuff for people. That's all she can do. She has nothing else to offer. Free stuff, free stuff, free stuff. I'm not going to make the
But she's not even doing that so much because she doesn't really even talk about the free stuff aside from some credits.
25. Yeah, that's tax credits. That's free stuff. Right. So tax credits, free stuff. The latest thing that she came out with was home health care is going to be provided by Medicaid now. Free stuff. Again, more taxpayer spending. I think what the black guys are going is like, how about you do something about the economy and jobs? I don't need your free stuff because you guys have been telling us free stuff for 50 years and it hasn't worked. I think they're kind of fed up and they don't like her personality on top of it, and it's just pushing them away in droves.
Yeah, well, I think you're partially right. I don't think people think of Kamala Harris as the free stuff president because frankly, she's not even good with the messaging.
Not yet. Yeah, I agree. But if you look at all of her policies, you see it's just nothing but tax cuts and giving away money.
And here's something else to think of. When Taylor Swift, obviously like the most popular celebrity online, or I guess probably in the world, endorses you. And then she has a song that she's using, and Beyonce has given her a stamp of approval, and she's on Stephen Colbert, and she's still not winning.
Yeah.
What do you think would happen if we just had some kind of balance in the media or the entertainment industry? In other words, all of this celebrity power, it is influential. It is. But it's still not enough. That tells you how bad this person is. I mean, like people on, Donald Trump has like, John Voight and Scott Baio, nice people, but it's not Beyonce and Taylor Swift.
It's not. Yeah, it's not.
It's not even, it wouldn't even be close. If media was balanced, if the entertainment media industrial complex represented just was a mirror of the rest of the United States of America, meaning close to 50-50, the Democrats would never win another election again. It couldn't possibly happen. It's 100% all hands on deck, all firepower to make it seem like Kamala Harris is likable. And it can't work. And this is what gets me concerned. Look, I don't want to be one of those people who's a doomsday, because I've seen it where then people don't go out, they don't vote, they just want to demoralize everyone else. Oh, the game is rigged.
Right,
Look,
yeah.
Yes, the left is constantly engaged in foul play. But let's be logical about this. Their first choice would be to not have to cheat in an obvious way, right? To do it with lies by omission, by using media bias, by throttling searches, right? By flat out censoring searches, as we've seen from Google and YouTube, as we've seen with Facebook and Meta in the past. Thank God, not X and not Rumble right now. They would rather do that. Then they would rather do the press tour. They would rather put out some lies in the media, right? They'd rather do it. But when they don't work, okay, they do have some Hail Marys that involve blatant cheating. They haven't done that yet. I think they're getting to that point. So I say this because I've told you it's lie, 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 cheat. We are in that last lie phase. And come election night, if it doesn't work, and I don't think it's going to work leading up to election, that's when you can expect some kind of cheating. Hey, if you're still watching this video, comment below. Sorry, I'm parched. I can't drink from that. But you can click the video and watch it. But what is it a hat?